Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Team Forbidden's YouTube page again. It is Andrew the Collector here with a new update for Volcanics. Sorry this one took a little bit to get out. I was kind of fooling around with different ratios for the deck. But I think I finally have one that's at least decent for locals. Don't expect to get a lot of tops with this deck because I did make it for a casual build, but if you want a more competitive build, let me know down below and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. A lot of you may think that may know Scott as the Volcanic guy, which you are right. But I decided to give this deck a try because I do like the Volcanics, and he gave me permission to profile it for the channel. But keep a lookout for his Halamengrate update once he is able to get the build set up for it. So starting off, we are going to start with 3 Volcanic Trooper. Upon normal summon or special summon, you search any Volcanic card from your deck. It's your main searcher, and second effect is that once per turn you can put a bomb token on your opponent's side of the field, and if it gets destroyed, your opponent takes 500 points of damage. Yeah, your main searcher, definitely don't want to run any less than 3. And next is going to be 3 Volcanic Rimfire. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can activate one of the following effects to banish this card from your graveyard and send a Volcanic monster from your deck to your graveyard. Or you can banish 1 Blaze Accelerator card from your field or graveyard, and if you do, place 1 Blaze Accelerator continuous spell card from your hand or deck to your side of the field. Another one that you definitely don't want to run any less than 3 of. Next, we have 3 Volcanic Rocket. When it's summoned, you can add a Blaze Accelerator card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Good recursion in searching for your Blaze Accelerator cards, and it's not once per turn. Next is going to be 3 Volcanic Scattershot. A lot of people should know what this card does, but it's the main monster that is definitely going to help control your game state. If this card is sent to the graveyard, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent, and if it is also sent to the graveyard by the effect of a Blaze Accelerator card, you can send 2 other scatter shots from your hand or deck to the graveyard and just spot Regeki your opponent's monster board. This is definitely the one that you want to run 3 of no matter what, because it's basically a flat-out 1500 damage to your opponent, and you wipe out their board mid-combo with some of your cards that you already have. And then 1 Volcanic Emperor, just 1. It's really good because you can special summon it from the hand or graveyard by banishing 3 Pyro Monsters or 1 Blaze Accelerator card from your field or graveyard, and that's an inherent summon, so it's not an effect. And if it's summoned this way, you can inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent for each banished Pyro Monster that you currently have banished. So if you summon this by banishing 3 Pyro Monsters, that's an instant 1500 points of damage to them right off the bat. And its other effect is that whenever your opponent special summons a card, is it every time? Yeah, every time your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, inflict 500 points of damage to them. And I forgot to mention that if it's summoned by its own effect, you can set 1 Volcanic Trap card directly from your deck to your side of the field. So yeah, really good for your Volcanic Traps if you run it. And then the last monster is 3 Ash Blossom because it's Ash Blossom. I'm not running Droll Knockbird in this build, mainly because I don't have it. But if you have Droll, run Droll. Next is going to be 3 Volcanic Blaze Accelerator. Activate this card by sending 1 Blaze Accelerator from your hand, deck, or face up on your side of the field. And once per turn during your main phase, you can special summon 1 Volcanic monster from your hand. And once per turn, target 1 monster your opponent controls. Send 1 level 1 Pyro monster from your deck, and if you do, destroy that monster. So yeah, like I said, you run 3 of these and only 1 Blaze Accelerator. You run this mainly for this card's activation requirement. Otherwise, you're not really using Blaze Accelerator. Then we run 3 Pot of Prosperity. The extra deck doesn't really matter for this deck, so you want to get this off with Search Power. And along with the other deck's weakness is Recursion, so I'm running 2 Pot of Avarice. Obviously, we don't have the new card Bonfire, which is basically Rhoda for fire decks. So until we get that, I'm running 2 Pot of Avarice to help with the recursion effect too. 2 Foolish Barrel of Goods for the Blaze Accelerator Reload Trap card that we have, which we'll get into in a minute. And 1 Begone Demon Child because it's called by the grave. Please, Konami, put this back at more than 1. Now off into the traps. We have 3 Infinite Impermanents because it's Infinite Impermanence. One of the best hand traps, one of the best literal hand traps that we currently have. And 3 Gozen Match. You run nothing but fire monsters. If I had Rivalry of the Warlords, I would be running it in this deck too, along with this for further, further lockdowns and floodgates, especially if you're going up against Vanquished Soul. And then 3 Solemn Judgment because it's Solemn Judgment. And for the rest of our traps, we are running 3 Blaze Accelerator Reload. This is definitely the card that you are going to be using the most of, along with Scattershot. During the main phase, you can send this card, and you can send 1 Volcanic monster from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, draw 1 card. And while this card is in the graveyard during the main phase, you can banish this card from the graveyard to send 1 Volcanic monster from your deck to your graveyard. So basically, if this card is in your graveyard and your opponent is in the middle of your combo, you can banish this card to send Volcanic Scattershot to send the other 2 to basically kill their board while they're in the middle of their combos. So yeah, run 3 Blaze Accelerator Reload, no less. And I'm so upset that this card didn't get a rarity bump in the Soulburner booster set, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. And then 1 of each of Volcanic Immersion and Inferno. Inferno is a continuous spell card, which basically says when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish 1 Pyro monster from your graveyard and inflict 500 points of damage to them. Then, if the banished monster was a Volcanic monster, you can negate the effect of the monster that you targeted. And during your opponent's standby end phase, you can target up to 2 of your Volcanic monsters that are banished or in your graveyard and put them at the bottom of your deck. So good recursion there. And Immersion is you can activate 1 of these effects to take 1 of your Volcanic monsters in your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it, ignoring the summoning conditions, which is basically another way to get out your Emperor. And its second effect is target 1 Pyro monster on the field and inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack, but if you target a monster that you control, that damage is halved. A lot of people are not running Emission over Inferno because Inferno actually has a interruption for the monster negate. But I do like Immersion mainly because it gets you out your Emperor. So feel free to run the ratio as in any way that you want, but definitely you need to run Inferno because it is just that good. Now off into the extra deck. The extra deck is up to personal preference, but you definitely want to run at least Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf because it does get you your recursion for your fire monsters since it is that generic. And you can run Hida, and Relinquished Anima, and you can run any Link monster ratio that you want, like Burl Sword Dragon. But basically the thing that people run are 3 Sunlight Wolf, 3 Hida, and a variety of other Link monsters like the Unicorn and IP combo. But it's up to personal preference. And off into the side deck to keep in with the fire monster theme, we have 3 Lava Golem for good spot removal, 3 Book of Eclipse, 3 Rogeki, 3 Cosmic along with the Harpies, Feather Duster, and 2 Dimensional Barrier because it's Dimensional Barrier. Why wouldn't you be running it in this format? And that is it for the Volcanic deck profile. I hope you guys liked it. Like I said before, please be in tune with an update for Scott's Salamangreat deck when he's able to get that together. Let me know if you want to see a more competitive version of this deck. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down below for notifications, and we'll catch you guys later.